So I made this video because I want to talk about something that is specifically important, and it has to do with what people don't fundamentally understand about prejudice, and that sometimes their views aren't exactly realistic. They aren't based on any research, and they're not professionally developed views based on professional training. So, in context, the reason that I'm making this video is, if you look at all these pictures, you're going to notice something similar. When I was a kid, I was really good at finding patterns. And one of my favorite games was the game where you found patterns in the game and found out what looks alike. So what I want people to do is to look at all these images and figure out what looks alike in all of these images, and then understand that the particular religious views that people have are fundamentally based on an understanding of reality that isn't apparent to most people. So, in terms of what I'm trying to explain here, is that if you're too scientific, you're never going to understand the reality. If you're too religious, you're never going to understand the reality. If you are too focused on your idea of what is right, you're never going to understand reality in its actual context, proper context. So the reason that I'm making this video is for people to understand that there is a fundamental difference between what you believe and what is true. What is actual, what is a part of reality and distinguished by actual knowledge. Not something you think you know, but something that is actually known by people that they try to teach you. Now, I'm not trying to teach people that Baphomet is the image of God. I'm trying to teach people that God created everything in His image. Everything. So when you look at the flowers that I happen to post in this video, and you notice that they actually have pentagrams in them, and they have five particular or all of them have 5 petals, you'll notice that the pentagram is not something demonic. Concepts, when you consider, or particularly, really when you think about things, are demonic. Not those things themselves. And I think that people miss the point of so many things, and it's so important to really just understand that there are religious views that are demonic. Everything except Christianity is satanic. And Christianity is 100% fact. That is the reality. It's just Christians fight against Christians and then fight against other people and make them Satanists. And there's so much a fundamental problem with people's behavior that it doesn't allow for people to love people. You should be slow to speak and quick to listen. What that really emphasizes, and I think what Jesus meant is, you should take time to learn something rather than being judgmental. All Christians today jump at somebody the moment they think it disagrees with what they define as the Word of God without even knowing what the Word of God says at all. And they need to understand what the Word of God says, and they need to understand who the enemy is before they can even presume to have conversations about things that are religiously conceptual. And this is my problem with Christians. Most of these people who think they're Christians are not. It's 100% delusion. They think they're Christian because they went to church. They don't even read their Bibles. They don't know what it says in the Bible. So everything that comes out is demonic. The whole concept of this New Age movement being demonic pisses me off, and I'll tell you why. In the Bible, the priests chosen by God in Leviticus wore stones as a breastplate. So when you see people walking around with stones and you're calling it New Age, you have no concept of reality. None. At all. You don't even understand why those things were practiced, why the actual biblical God said to practice those things, and why specific priests were chosen. These are people who were chosen, not people who decided that they wanted to be a priest and decided to speak on behalf of God, all right, and confused the ever-living shit out of people about who God is and what God is, because they could be trusted not to corrupt the concept of God and form an idol, all right, so they can rake in a shit ton of money. People really don't understand a lot of things.